I am about to start reading this new thriller book that follows along a mom and a daughter. And I don't know if it's going to be multiple timelines, but the way that I understand this book is that the mom, I don't know her name, but the mom went to this college. During the first year, some people were killed and her roommate ran away, mysteriously disappeared, never to be seen again. And then many years later, the mom has a daughter and the daughter secretly applies to this same school. And I guess kind of those secrets start to unravel and connections are made. And that's pretty much all I know. So yeah, I think it's been a while since I've read a thriller book. So I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to read a thriller book. And yeah, I'm excited. So let's see what this book's all about. And if you like thriller books and you love to be like, wow, mind blown, go ahead and subscribe. Oh, but wait, we know the drill. This has a dust cover and that has to come off before I can read this book. So I got this book this month, so July. So it's because this is a book of the month book, it's gonna have that July 2025 stamp on it. And if I have to guess about the colors, I would say it's going to be a dark blue book with, I don't know, a yellow spine. So let's find out. Oh, I got it right. Feel like it's been a while since I've guessed all of it correctly. Cool. All right, let's read this book for real now. So I'm a little bit more than 100 pages, as well as pretty much halfway through You Belong Here, and here are my thoughts so far. The tension, like the mystery, ongoing tension in this book is really well done. It has me just like stressed out the entire time, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? I don't know, kind of freaked out. And it's like, I know that there's information being given to me that I don't quite know what to do with yet. So we'll see where that goes, but basically where I'm at right now, so this part of the book, is we're introduced to our main character, Beckett. And so at first I thought this book was gonna be like a point of view of mother and daughter, but it's just the mother's point of view that we get, which honestly makes it even more stressful of a book. So Beckett, basically, she lived in this town, and it's like a big mountain town, and she went to the school there, her parents were professors there, and the incident that happened is that her roommate was basically the suspect for the death of these two boys. So they got like locked in the tunnels and like burned alive is how I understand it. They're very careful in this book in not explicitly saying what happened. We're just getting kind of little bits of information, the occasional flashback about what's happening and like that situation. But because it was her roommate and she managed to escape and vanish like 20 years ago, the town and the college and basically everybody was like, okay, well, you're her best friend, so obviously you had something to do with it. And so the school basically forces her to leave, and she has to finish her final semester in a completely different town at like a sister school. But I'm pretty sure that the sister school is like not even just another town, it's like a completely different continent. So that kind of sucks for Beckett. And so 20 years have passed, and now her daughter Delilah has been accepted to go to that school. And her mom's obviously not happy about it. And so when she drives her daughter up, there's a lot of stuff that she starts to remember about her time there, people she knew, old friends, old boyfriends, that kind of stuff. And when she leaves her daughter, she's like, she feels uneasy. She's like, I never wanted to go back to that place. All the memories are coming back. But then a couple months pass by and she gets a mysterious call from her daughter that just drops. And so Beckett is now like, okay, something's not right. And so now she rushes over to the town to figure out what happened to my daughter. And it's stressing me out because I don't know if Beckett is just being paranoid because of what had happened to her when she was there, because there's definitely some more stuff that we have not been revealed to as the reader, that maybe Beckett actually was involved or had some kind of information that we didn't know about, like she didn't share. And a couple of creepy things about like about somebody being in the house that her parents have, but like her parents are out of the country doing like lectures and stuff. And when Beckett shows up, there's like evidence that someone has been in that house, which is really creepy. And that's pretty much where we are. She's trying to find her daughter, and it's like, is her daughter actually missing, or is she or does she have an active imagination? And it stresses me out. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I don't know if I'm enjoying this book or not, because I'm just like really stressed out reading it, but like suspense thrillers like this, I tend to like them more when I finish them. Same way I feel about horror, where it's like in the moment I'm like, ah, but then I finish it and I decide then, were the plot twists good? Did I have an overall good time? Was the tension good? Because like the suspense of it is just, it's really like really well done. It's freaking me out. Makes me really nervous. All that stuff. I feel like even though I don't, I feel like I have a daughter who's now gone missing, and I'm like stressing out trying to find her, and it's like, what happened to her? Was it something nefarious? Did she get lost? Is she actually lost? Like, are people lying to me? Like, what is going on? So yeah, I'm going to continue to read this book, and I'll probably update you when I finish it, because it's not too big of a book. So yeah, I'll see you there with my final thoughts, and we'll see if I end up enjoying this book as a whole by then. So I finished You Belong Here by Megan Miranda, and I will say that I think I expected a bit more from this book than what we actually got. However, it was definitely a very well-written book. The suspense got me good. And I mean, that's part of the enjoyment of the book as well. So in terms of the enjoyment, I couldn't stop flipping the pages. Like, she does a really good job with that thriller suspense vibe. But I felt like the payoff was a bit anticlimactic. And it seemed like the main focus of the story about the roommate, I feel like that stuff was never really clear, and maybe that's intentional, like nobody will ever know, but I don't know. I feel like that it was talked about so much and seemed like such a big focus, and the fact that it wasn't resolved at the end, it kind of made me just go, oh, but come on. I did like, however, though, that it felt like you were getting the runaround, because it's like, this character, like, obviously she's trying to do things quickly, because when a kid goes missing, granted, Delilah's 18, that you need to be fast. And so she's convincing herself constantly, oh, it's this character, oh, it's this character, oh, it's this character, this person did that, this person did that. And she's just really quick to conclusions. And because the book is so fast paced, you don't have a second to think either. You're just like, oh my goodness, it was this person, it had to be this person. And I think that was done very well. But I guess I was just expecting more. I guess I was expecting a bit more of a mother-daughter duo kind of adventure. I did like the mystery, but I think it would have been cool to see Delilah's perspective and like the kind of experiences that she had, and then make the ending a bit more exciting. I mean, it worked out. Like, the ending worked, but I was hoping to be a bit more dramatic, to be honest. But overall, it's definitely a decent read. I think that what it does the best is definitely making you sit there and devour the book. I read this book very, very quickly. It is not a very long book either, and it takes place in the span of like a couple of days, so very fast paced, and I think that's the best part about this book. So today we are going to be awarding You Belong Here a total of 3 stars. That's pretty much where we're at. I think that it definitely hit the right mark. It was very good in terms of suspense and the mystery, and it had you guessing. I would say that in some ways it was predictable about like who kind of the villain person was, but some of the other aspects about the why behind it were very hard to figure out, and so I thought that was a good reveal. I think that the characters were interesting, but it seemed like there was just some parts that just, I don't know, were kind of useless and didn't really add to the story. Certain characters, which some of them made sense, but some of the other ones, I don't know, I don't see the point of them being in the story, to be honest. But I really liked the setting of the book. I think that if this book was released in the fall time, maybe it would have hit different, I don't know, but it had this cool kind of like middle of nowhere mountain town setting with this old school with the smell of crime from 20 years past. Like, honestly, a really good setting, really good vibe. I think maybe I could have cared about the characters a little bit more than I actually did, and I think that there was some underwhelming parts in a story that I had kind of expected to be a bit more And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my experience, but it's definitely a decent read if you're interested in a thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Like, I can't get over the tension that I had in that book. Like, or I feel like tension, I think like, tension. But like, I mean like the suspense of the book was so well done. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And I'm excited about this book, so that's what I'll be reading next. So thanks so much for watching. With that, I'm going to wish you warm wishes and fish kisses, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!